Most gracious ladies and gentlemen, I greet you in the bonds of immortal love, as the eternal fires of my heart blend with your own. Receive the strong embrace of my life stream, for I embrace you each one, and I welcome you to the victory of purity, to the purity of victory. I am here, and I am there. I am in heaven, and oh, the glories of heaven. And I am on earth, here, in the heart of my twin flame. And lo, I am everywhere in the consciousness of God. Oh, the new-found freedom of the ascended state! How I have looked forward to telling you that life begins not at 40, not at 80, but when you ascend. My rejoicing cannot help but be tempered in part by the loss that some have felt of my physical presence. But as I gaze upon the children, upon my Sean and my Aaron, my Moira and my Tatiana, I see the courage of hearts united in faith, and I am relieved of what burden of sorrow that I might have. And I desire to divest you this night also, and those who shall hear my words in the field, of all burden of care and concern for my passing from the screen of life. For I am here to tell you that all is in divine order. For the hour came, and is now, for the retiring of the witness, the withdrawal of this witness into the white fire core of the secret rays. And according as it is written in the book of life, so it was accomplished, that my time was fulfilled. And I am gratified to know that one who came to me 12 years ago did prepare to take my place, and now stands where I once stood before you. Precious hearts, when I think of what might have been, it might have come to pass that I should be called home, and there would none be left to take my place. There would be no one here to take my place. Many things could have happened, for I would have been called home whether or not the everlasting gospel had been published, whether or not the activity had been successful, whether or not the good news of the Ascended Master's teachings had been spread abroad across the face of the earth. And I knew 12 years ago that my time was short, as you have been told. But I say it again to assure you and to allay your fears. The means that was used to effect my transition was deemed the best method by the lords of karma for the least pain to loved ones, to myself, to all concerned. Although she has not yet the total awareness of our inner communion prior to that event, Elizabeth did know and was aware, as much as it was possible to make known to her, that I would be going on. I remember our last supper together in Santa Barbara. Just the two of us as we sat together, dining in the love of El Moria, and he dined with us this night. And it was the communion of the 3 M's, Mark and Moria and the Mother, united for so long in the service of the light. We shared our cup together, and it was a special hour that God had provided for us midst the turmoil of service and the closing hours when the life was being withdrawn from my physical body in preparation for the ascension. And so as the eternal tides of the sea roar, the sea that is so dear to the heart of Elizabeth, I proclaim to you the mighty sea of life that carries the soul unto a new born, a new home of light where angels sing, and where there is that great rejoicing in the communion of saints and the hosts of heaven. As I have thought this night upon the many subjects on which I would choose to discourse, I have drawn the conclusion that it is always the most expedient to speak of practical things, even when the heart would sing to the poetic cadences of the music of the spheres. For I am concerned that you wear my mantle, those of you that I have known for so long, for so many embodiments. And therefore I have enlisted the service of my angels over these past weeks, thinking of what I could do to bring you my joy. And I have asked the angels to sew you a replica of my cape, my blue cape that I have worn even in the physical octave. And I have asked my angels to place that cape upon your shoulders this night. And it might very well come to pass that you shall feel even the fabric of that cape as it rustles around your ankles and around your arms. Yes, I have fashioned a blue cape for each one of you. That is my angels. They have taken the fashioning that I have given to them and styled a most noble garment, complete with hood, like the monks of old. And so before this service is concluded, these angels are going to place my cape upon you, that you might also go forth wearing the momentum of my victory in many past embodiments, which I have taken forth from my causal body as a momentum of light to give unto you. And so let us then talk together this night, as though I were sitting by the fire in the family room and you were gathered around me, for an informal talk about life, about the world, about where we are going together. For whatever happens, come what may, we move forward together. For this group, this noble company of souls, is a part of the vast mandala of hierarchy of the children of God who have been together for generations of light. And so as the fire crackles in the fireplace in Darjeeling, so I look into the flame and I consider our fiery destiny. I consider the destiny of a planet, in the throes and upheavals of great change. Turmoil within and turmoil without is the order of the day. And as I have made known to you into pearls of wisdom, which K17 and I dictated together, the state of the world, the affairs of the nations, are of prime concern to the Darjeeling Council, to the Council of the Royal Teton, and to the members of this retreat in embodiment. Our concern is first with the lack of the cosmic honor flame in governments across the nations of the world. Our concern is that in the absence of the keeping of that flame, all forms of distortions of God government have manifested. I do not wish to alarm you, and yet I cannot fail to warn you. Times are gravely critical, far more so than it appears on the surface. In fact, there is a surface quiet across the earth, and it is a quiet not of peace, but a quiet before the storm. And what is that storm, and what is its nature? So you ask me, as I have asked the lords of karma. Mankind have sown the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind. There is no alternative. Perhaps there might be an alternative if suddenly great numbers and masses of people should come to the feet of the Ascended Masters and immediately begin to give forth the invocations that you have so faithfully given over the years. All things are possible with God, and hope is always present. But we in the Ascended Master's octave must also deal with the practicalities of life. And the practicalities are these. Mankind have not turned toward the light in generations and centuries and millennia past. And the handwriting on the wall, which is the projection of their human consciousness into the days ahead, does not indicate that they will, as they have not, change their basic natures of selfishness and self-seeking. I was there when Abram asked the Lord to spare the city for 10 righteous men, and I know that within your hearts this night you would also do the same. Whatever the number is that the Lord requires of righteousness today, I am certain that he would spare the earth her travail, if it were possible. There is no desire on the part of the Godhead to punish mankind, but the law requires a balance, and so it is the balancing of the energies of life with which we are concerned. The coming of the dark cycle on April 23rd, 1969, was a foretelling of the coming of the darkness of mankind's own karma. And so on the 4th anniversary of the coming of the dark cycle, there shall come upon mankind a renewed opportunity to deal with darkness. Opportunity, yes. Travail, yes. Mankind will have a new impetus of their returning karma as a result of the freeing of the elementals of some of the burden that they have borne for humanity far too long. Mankind will have the opportunity to transmute that darkness. The question is, will they transmute it, or will they identify with it and thus go down with their own returning karma? Only time will tell, and the Ascended Masters will not make predictions of dire calamity, for they would not be the authors of a spiral through prediction that must be fulfilled because of the momentum of their God awareness. Nay, I tell you, the Ascended Masters will not put their energies into the fulfillment of negativity, but they will warn. They will say to their chelas embodied, prepare, be ready for the time when anything can happen. There is always the universal threat of nuclear holocaust, of nations destroying nations. For Russia can well destroy the United States today, as the United States can well destroy Russia. Although their powers are not equal, yet both have enough to do the job. And then there is the rising threat of darkness from the mainland of China. O China, land of illumination, how thou art fallen, as Babylon is fallen the mighty city. Precious hearts, there is always the question at hand of cataclysm of many sorts. All types of disturbances in the earth's atmosphere, man-made, create disturbances within the earth, earthquakes in divers places and storms. All types of manifestation, and yet, as Jesus said, the end is not yet. Jesus prophesied the end of an age and the end of a cycle, as you have been told, when the everlasting gospel would be preached in every nation. It has come to pass as the fulfillment of my life, that in this past year the gospel has been preached by us personally or by the book going across the earth in libraries and in the hands of students. Yes, the everlasting gospel has been preached in every nation, and it is foretold that then the end should come. What is that end? That is the end of the Piscean age. But is it also the end of the established order? Can I answer all of these questions for you? I dare not. I must not. For I must place hope before you. I must say that one with God is a majority, and that he that is absent from the body is present with the Lord. You are counted among those who love not their lives in the body, for you are concerned with the immortality of the soul, else you would not sit in these rooms day after day to hear how to attain that immortality, as it is explained to you here. And so, precious hearts, I look to long-range plans. I look to the future, to the glory of the wonders of purity and victory made manifest within each one of you. And beholding that glory, I am concerned with your immediate present, your present state, the state of your consciousness, and your ability to fulfill your divine plan. The ability to fulfill the divine plan is greatly based upon determination. The determination not to procrastinate till the morrow those things which you know one day you must accomplish ere you leave this physical temple. If there is one thought that I desire to impress upon your minds in this fireside chat, it is this: go forth and fulfill your high calling. Let no mortal, no family, no friends, no earthly loves take you from the Christ, or take you from letting him reign as king, as queen within your consciousness. Time is very short, precious hearts, and you are given a cycle to fulfill your attunement and your attainment. Upon your heeding of my warning and your acceptance of my counsel may very well hang your ascension, or the requirement to re-embody again in a very disturbed world. Some of you could make the ascension in this life if you would consider yourselves worthy. There is a feeling of a lack of worthiness among the students because of the memory amplified by the sinister force of past errors, mistakes, and those manifestations that are called sins. I say to you, whatever you have done in the past, forsake the past, leave it behind, and let the light of mercy triumph within you. For our God is a God of mercy, and his mercy endureth forever. Therefore, take a step forward this night, and consider that in taking that step you are stepping out of the skins of the former man and into the raiment of the Christ. And when you take that step, as I shall direct at the close of my address, you shall have placed upon you my cape, my capuchon. I say then, will you not stand with that cape? And this I shall have you do at the hour directed. Won't you please be seated? Won't you stand then with that cape in this place, in time and space, as you would stand in the consciousness of the Christ, your own Christ identity. I want you to leave this meeting tonight in the consciousness that you are the Christ, not a lesser being evolving toward that stature of the Christ, but standing in the place of your holy Christ self to receive the immaculate word from the heart of God. If you can but surmount this one stumbling block, this one stone of stumbling in your pathway, you will find that it is the key to your triumph and to your ascension. I say you are all candidates for the ascension if you choose to be. And if you choose to be this night and in the coming weeks, then I will sponsor you, and I will direct the Mother of the Flame to sponsor you also. There is no need to tarry. There is no need to go back to the old ways of the human consciousness. I say your Christed awareness, your Christed being, is the blazing reality of your consciousness. It is the new day dawning within you. It is your potential of victory. It is your purity now. And I say you do not have to wait for that carnal mind to evolve, for the carnal mind will never evolve, precious hearts. It will never become the Christ. It must be put off and cast into the flame. You have to trade in the old model and take out the new. How long will you dwell with that old model? Some of you are more tolerant of your former selves than you are of your cars, which you trade in every year. But you forget to trade in the carnal mind for the Christ mind that is in the height of fashion in the courts of heaven. And so, precious hearts, I say that of all the warnings and all the prophecies that I might prophesy this night, it is this one key of Christhood and salvation through Christhood that can give you the ultimate victory. And it is with ultimate victories that we are concerned, not with the skirmishes that are lost or won each hour and each day, for these do count, as the great keeper of the scrolls makes his mark in the book of life. But I say, sometimes when you lose in the fray, it is a lesson that needs to be learned, and a temporary loss may mean the ultimate victory, for the lesson that is gained is a measure toward perfection. And so I say, count the experiences that you have been through as the past that is prologue, and now write the chapter 1 on the book of my Christhood. Keep a diary that is called My Christhood, and write down each day how the flower of the Christ is appearing in your life. And when you know you have done an act in the consciousness of the Christ, write it down and leave the record for yourself, so that in those hours of darkness and moments of trial, when you forget and cannot remember one good thing you have ever done because the devils are tormenting you with their lies, then read in the book of my Christhood of how you have vanquished error and how you have overcome. I say the saga of your lives, of many of you, is beautiful to behold, for you have indeed won in small ways and in great ways. And until the last tally is taken, you never know how the Lord looks upon the balance of power within you. So keep on striving for the light, striving for the right, and know that I, Lanello, walk with you each step of the way. I am as near as the breath that you breathe, and there is nowhere that you can go that I am not, for I have projected an electronic presence of myself to each one of you who will receive me. As Jesus wrote, "He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward." My reward is the ascension. My reward is light. And if you will receive me as a prophet of your ascension, then you can have my electronic presence walking next to you, and I will wear my own blue cape, and they will say, "Look at those twins walking down the street." For you will look like me, and I will look like you, and who will say who is ascended and who is unascended? For did they not have a little moment of trouble in discerning the difference between Jesus and his disciples? So they will not know who is who, and I dare say that when the forces move their chessmen on the board of life to attack your life stream, they may very well fling those arrows of outrageous fortune at me, and then they will have the reward of attacking an ascended master, and how do you like that? And so we two shall walk hand in hand, and at any hour of the day or night, when you reach out your hand for mine, I will clasp your own. And I am wearing still the wedding ring, the ring that proclaims my immortal reunion with the Mother of God, the mother of my own twin flame. And so you will feel in the clasp of my hand, you will feel the ring of life. That is the great sphere of our divine union and of our immortality. So you also have a ring that you wear with your own beloved. For twin flames are ever united in a sphere of light which cannot be broken unless you choose to break it through the second death and I know that there be none among you who have made that choice. For you are marching homeward in the light, children of God, carrying the banner of Maitreya, the great initiator of the 11th hour. If you could but see yourselves when you leave your bodies at night, how you assemble in formation and march with the angels. Some of you have quite a good time making merry with the angels out of your bodies, and some of you remember this sometimes when you return and wake up happy and full of life and full of the spirit of the universe, being a happy place, for indeed it is. And so what of it then, if there be in a certain sector of this galaxy a planet known as Terra, whose people are in error, who then descend into the darkness of the pit because they have not the wit of the Christ whose light does shine to point the way in time. O blessed hearts so true, those who gather as the few, the faithful ones, so light and bold, who have descended as of old, coming to this place, here in space, to behold the sacred face of the mother flame, the father flame, of those who count themselves as to be numbered among the nameless one, the light descending from the sun. And so you see I have not lost the line of poetry throughout the lineage of my embodiments. But what is that? Do you care that a poet rare is walking among you now? Would you rather have a warrior galloping through your midst on a mighty charger, fiery and full of light, coming through? Then watch out, for here I come, and I have my white horse, and I am galloping through this night, for I am here to lead the legions of the light into the fight and into the fray, come what may. I shall be there, and I shall be your Lancelot forevermore, and I shall cast my lance, and cast it a lot, for I am concerned that you be free from all demons and demonology. Do you see, precious hearts, that I can manifest at any time, in any way, in any portrait of myself, whatever is the requirement of the hour? Simply call, and I shall lower the bower, and I shall be there within your midst, to place upon your forehead the holy kiss of father, of mother, of friend and brother. Then here I am, and now you can stand, for now I shall place upon you the cape of my immortal destiny. Take that mighty step forward, precious hearts. Take it now, and let it be a leap into the arms of the Divine Mother, and have no other, for she will be faithful and true to you unto the end. And then you will know that the pathway into heaven is paved by the Father and the Mother, by Alpha and Omega, by rays descending, rays ascending, rays from out the cosmic heights, rays to adorn you with the crown of life. And you are stars in my crown of rejoicing, and you are the remnant and the seed of the Divine Mother, and you shall live to proclaim the victory of the light as victors in the fight. I salute you by and with the seal of the entire spirit of the great white brotherhood. Capes descend! And now, precious hearts of light, go forth incognito into that